Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You guys sent in so much cool stuff this week.
Yeah, really interesting stuff.
Really interesting news, and we are going to break it all down for you today.
It's wild, like, how fast everything's moving these days in the tech world.
Yeah, so get ready for some seriously futuristic stuff, like AI that can use your mouse.
That's right.
Apple maybe shaking up the gaming world again, and even scientists trying to bring extinct animals back to life.
I mean, it's like straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now.
Okay, let's start with that AI that can use your mouse. I mean, remember back in the day when you had to use the mouse for like everything on your computer?
Yeah, click, 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 click.
Click, click, click. Well, both TLDR and TLDR AI, they covered this new tool from Anthropic called computer use. And this thing can actually take control of your mouse and do stuff on your screen.
It's wild. It like takes these rapid screen grabs and basically uses that to see what's happening on your computer.
Yeah, so it's like teaching a computer to understand your computer by watching you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of creepy, but also super cool.
Yeah, I know. It's like, wait a minute, are you watching me?
So like instead of clicking through a million menus to like open a file or something, could you just say like, hey, computer, open that spreadsheet and send it to my boss? And it just happens.
Yeah. That's the idea, and it's still early days, but the potential is huge.
Especially.
You know, for folks who maybe have disabilities or find using a mouse tricky, like this could be a game changer.
It could also automate like all those annoying repetitive tasks that we all have to do on our computers.
Yeah, like who wants to rename 1,000 files?
No one. And what about gaming?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's going to be huge. I'm already picturing myself like commanding armies in a game with just my voice.
Right.
I mean,
voice control.
Although maybe that's giving the AI a little too much power.
Like maybe too much power, right?
Too much power for one AI.
But I mean, there are limitations right now.
Oh, for sure.
Like it can't handle drag and drop, which is, you know, pretty important for a lot of things. And things that change really quickly on the screen, it still struggles with.
Right.
But it's definitely a peek into the future of how we're going to be interacting with computers.
For sure. And speaking of big moves in the tech world, we have Apple maybe changing the game.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. TLDR had this rumor that Apple is working on a new app that's totally dedicated to gaming. So it's like combining the App Store and Game Center into one.
Interesting.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, why would they do this now?
Yeah, why now? They already have those things.
Yeah, so it seems like they're trying to streamline the whole gaming experience. Like,
yeah, make it more like...
make a one-stop shop.
Yeah, one-stop shop.
For all things gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Find new games, connect with your friends.
Yeah.
Jump into a match, all that stuff.
And there's this even juicier detail that it might have FaceTime and iMessage built in. Yeah. So is Apple trying to create like their own gamer version of Discord? Yeah, it's possible, right? Like if you can chat with your friends while you're playing games all within the same app, that's super appealing to a lot of people.
Probably.
It also just shows how all these companies are trying to keep you within their own like little world, you know?
Their own walled garden.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so get ready for something seriously wild. Colossal, the company that's trying to bring back the woolly mammoth, has an update on their efforts to revive the extinct thylacine. You know,
the Tasmanian tiger.
The Tasmanian tiger.
She's like back from the dead, maybe.
I know, it's crazy.
I know.
The idea of bringing back extinct animals. I mean, it seems like science fiction.
Yeah, totally.
But Colossal thinks that marsupials like the thylacine might be actually easier to work with.
Interesting.
In terms of de-extinction.
So they're starting with marsupials.
But how do you even begin to bring back an animal that hasn't existed for like almost a century? I mean, do they have a time machine hidden away somewhere?
Yeah. Well, no time machine, but they do have a near-complete thylacine genome sequence.
Okay, so they have the DNA blueprint.
Yeah, and get this. They're working on artificial uteruses.
Whoa.
Specifically for marsupials.
Artificial uteruses. I mean, that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's wild. And it brings up a lot of ethical questions, right?
Huge ethical questions like, should we be bringing back extinct species?
Right.
What kind of impact would that have on the environment?
What are the unintended consequences?
Yeah, it's a really complex issue. And this is why I love tech so much, because it's not just about gadgets and code.
Right.
It's about pushing the limits of what's possible and having these mind-blowing conversations.
Absolutely.
We've got even more tech to cover.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started.
So buckle up. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about bringing extinct animals back to life.
I know. Can you believe that?
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit and zoom in on AI.
Okay, yeah, AI is definitely having a moment right now.
It really is. Like, both TLDR and TLDR AI have been covering all this stuff about this new wave of AI that's not just doing things, but actually starting to reason like we do.
Wait, hold on. So we're not just talking about AI that can, like, write poems or beat us at chess. Like, it's actually starting to, like, think things through.
Yeah, that's what researchers are working towards.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. There's this technique they're using called chain of thought prompting, where you basically guide the AI through a problem step by step, like you would explain it to a student. And this helps the AI learn to break down these complex tasks and make logical connections.
So instead of just spitting out an answer based on patterns and data, it's like starting to understand the why behind things.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild.
It is, and there's this even more mind-blowing development. They're using this logic programming language called Prolog.
Okay.
To help AI reason even better, and TLDR AI mentioned this. Apparently, Prolog helps translate requests into this kind of symbolic logic that AI can grasp more easily.
Okay, I'm not a programmer.
Yeah.
But this sounds like we're teaching AI to think like a philosopher, like breaking down arguments into premises and conclusions and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And this could be huge for things like scientific research, where you need AI to not just process data, but actually help us understand the relationships within it.
So, like, imagine an AI helping scientists design new experiments or even, like, coming up with entirely new theories.
Exactly. It's pretty exciting stuff.
And what about just, like, everyday tasks? Could this kind of AI help us, like, make better decisions? Like, figure out the best way to invest our money or even plan a vacation?
Absolutely. I mean, as this technology gets better and better,
Yeah.
we could see AI becoming way more integrated into our lives, helping us with everything from, like you said, complex problem solving to just mundane tasks.
This is pretty crazy to think about.
It is.
This brings up something interesting that the TLDR newsletter had about Stable Diffusion 3.5.
Yeah, Stable Diffusion.
Which is this AI image generation tool. It's getting super powerful.
Oh, it's amazing how quickly it's evolving. Like, artists and designers are already using it to create some incredible artwork.
Yeah, and with each update, it seems like it just keeps getting more sophisticated and more accessible.
Right.
It's wild to think that just a few years ago, the idea of AI creating these photorealistic images from just a simple text prompt seemed like, I don't know, magic.
Yeah, it did.
Speaking of mind-blowing advancements, TLDR also mentioned the discovery of a new prime number, like the biggest one ever found.
The largest prime numbers.
Prime numbers, those things from math class.
Yeah.
What's so exciting about finding a new one?
Well, it's not really just about the number itself.
Okay.
It's more about what this discovery says about the power of modern computing. Okay. Like, finding these massive prime numbers, it takes a ton of computational resources and these super sophisticated algorithms.
So it's like a testament to how far we've come in terms of processing power.
Exactly. We can do things now that we couldn't even dream of just a few years ago.
And then there's Perplexity with their new internal knowledge search.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's interesting.
Which basically lets you search not just the web, but also all your own personal files.
Right, all your stuff.
Like your emails, documents, even messages.
Super handy.
Talk about a productivity booster.
It's a game changer. Imagine being able to instantly find any piece of information you've ever seen. Whether it's a website you bookmarked years ago or a random note you jotted down on your phone.
That would be so helpful.
It would.
It feels like everything is moving so fast.
It is.
How do we even keep up with all these advancements?
That's where the idea of learning to learn comes in.
Okay.
The TLDR newsletter had a whole article about this. It's all about not just acquiring knowledge, but actually developing the skills to learn new things quickly and effectively.
So it's not just about knowing the latest tech, it's about being able to adapt and learn as technology keeps evolving.
Yeah, that's the key in a world that's changing as fast as ours.
Right.
Being a lifelong learner is essential.
I need a minute to process all this.
It's a lot, I know.
This has been an intense deep dive so far.
It has.
But it's been incredibly exciting.
It has.
We've gone from AI taking over your mouse to prime numbers to the ethics of bringing back extinct animals.
It's been a wild ride.
It has.
But we're not done yet.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. We have one more segment where we'll explore what all this means for you and how you can stay ahead of the curve in this crazy tech world.
Sounds good. Can't wait. Okay, we're back. And I gotta say, my head's kind of spinning after all that.
I know, right? It's a lot to take in, but that's what makes these deep dives so awesome.
It really is. I mean, We've gone from AI that can control your mouse to the ethics of bringing back extinct animals.
And giant prime numbers, don't forget those.
Oh, yeah, those too. It's like a crash course in the future of tech.
Exactly. And speaking of the future, what does all this mean for us, like the everyday people who use this technology?
That's a good question.
Well, one thing we talked about is that whole learning to learn idea. But there's another important takeaway here.
Okay, what's that?
It's about not just passively consuming technology, but actually becoming active participants in shaping how it develops.
So instead of just being amazed by what AI can do, we should be asking ourselves, like, what problems do I want AI to solve?
Exactly. Or how can I use these tools to improve my life or my work?
Yeah, like that.
We actually have a lot of power to influence how technology evolves.
That's true.
Whether it's voicing our concerns about the ethical implications, supporting companies that align with our values, or even learning to code ourselves, we can be part of the conversation.
It's actually pretty empowering to think that we're not just along for the ride.
Right.
Like, we can actually help steer the direction of technology in a way that benefits humanity.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just a snapshot of what's happening right now.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to even imagine what the next few years will bring.
Exactly. Think 5, 10, 20 years down the line. Who knows what kind of crazy tech we'll have then?
That's both exciting and a little terrifying.
I know, right? It makes you realize that we're living in a time of, unprecedented technological advancement.
It really does.
And it's up to all of us to make sure it's used for good.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to embrace the unknown.
The future of tech is literally in our hands.
That's right. So go out there and make it awesome.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the world of tech. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing those boundaries.
We'll see you next time.